This one is going to sting for a long time, not just because the Rams lost, but because of how they lost. A game that was there for the taking, a moment that could have reshaped the NFC playoff picture slipped away in the most painful way possible. This wasn't just a loss, this was a collapse. And for Rams fans everywhere, it felt like watching hope drain out in real time. Coming into this matchup against the Seahawks, everything was on the table. Momentum, confidence, even a legitimate path toward the #1 seed. The Rams didn't walk into this game as underdogs hoping for a miracle. They walked in believing they could win. And for large stretches, they proved it. That's what makes this defeat so hard to accept. Early on, the Rams looked composed. The offense had rhythm, the defense showed energy, and there was a sense that this team understood the stakes. Drives were sustained, plays were being made, and the game felt like it was unfolding on the Rams' terms. This wasn't domination, but it was control. And in a rivalry game like this, control is everything. But football doesn't reward teams for how they start. It rewards them for how they finish. And when the game tightened, when the pressure climbed, the Rams unraveled piece by piece. The collapse didn't happen on one play. It happened through a series of mistakes that slowly shifted momentum. Missed tackles that should have ended drives. Coverage breakdowns that left receivers just a little too open. Offensive possessions where the urgency didn't match the moment. Against a Seahawks team that thrives on capitalizing on errors, those mistakes were fatal. What makes it worse is that the Rams had chances to put this game away, multiple times. Opportunities to take control late, drain the clock, and force Seattle into desperation mode. Instead, they left the door open. And in the NFL, leaving the door open is the same as inviting disaster inside. Late-game execution told the story. Third downs that absolutely had to be stops turned into conversions. Pressure that needed to get home didn't arrive. On offense, timing disappeared when calm and precision were required most. These are the moments that separate good teams from championship teams. And on this night, the Rams fell short. Then there's Puka Nacua. Once again, Puka played like a star. Tough, fearless, relentless. He fought for every yard, absorbed contact, and showed the kind of effort that inspires teammates and fans alike. When the offense needed a spark, he was there. When plays broke down, he battled anyway. His performance was one of the few constants in a game that spiraled out of control. But Puka's night also highlighted one of the most frustrating aspects of this loss, the officiating. Time and time again, Puka faced heavy contact that went uncalled, physical coverage that crossed the line, grabs and hits that disrupted routes and stalled drives. In moments where a flag could have extended possessions or flipped field position, nothing came. And when your most important offensive weapon is repeatedly forced to fight through illegal contact with no whistle, it changes the entire flow of the game. To be clear, the refs did not single-handedly lose this game for the Rams. Championship teams overcome bad calls. But when the margin for error is razor-thin, missed calls matter. They kill momentum, they force perfection, and they add to the sense that everything is working against you. That's why the Puka versus the refs conversation isn't going away. Still, the Rams have to own their part in this. Red zone opportunities didn't turn into touchdowns when they needed to. Defensive discipline slipped at the worst possible times. Situational awareness, clock management, down and distance decisions felt just slightly off. These are controllable elements, and that's what makes this loss feel so avoidable. So what now? Shockingly, the season is not over. The Rams' hopes of earning the #1 seed took a massive hit, but they are not dead. The path is narrow, unforgiving, and dependent on help, but it exists. First and foremost, the Rams have to win out. No exceptions. No room for another mistake. Every remaining game has to be approached like a playoff game because that's exactly what they are now. Beyond that, the Rams need other NFC contenders to stumble. Losses by teams ahead of them could open the door through tiebreakers like conference record, head-to-head matchups, and common opponents. Every year in the NFL, late-season chaos reshapes the standings. Unexpected losses happen, favorites fall. Teams that just need a little help suddenly get it. The Rams simply need to stay alive long enough to benefit if that chaos arrives. But here's the uncomfortable truth. None of it matters if this team can't finish games. That's the question this loss leaves behind. Not about talent, not about coaching, but about trust. Can this team handle the pressure when everything tightens? Can they close when the moment demands it? Or will games like this continue to haunt them? Losses like this can break a team, or forge one. They can create doubt, finger-pointing, and hesitation. Or they can create urgency, focus, and accountability. Right now, the Rams are standing at that crossroads. If they want this game to be remembered as a turning point instead of a collapse, the response has to be immediate. Sharper execution, better discipline, smarter situational football. The toughness and fire Puka brings every snap needs to spread across the roster. Defensively, getting off the field late in games has to become non-negotiable. Because this loss will be remembered. The only question is how. Will it be the moment fans look back on and say, that's where it all fell apart? Or will it be the painful wake-up call that pushed this team into its best football at the perfect time? The frustration is real. The anger is justified, but the opportunity is still there. The Rams' season isn't finished yet, but from here on out, every snap, every drive, and every decision carries weight. Now we find out who this team really is.